Hey, so hello everyone, welcome back to all you board regulatory bodies. Let me know that I'm audible as well as my video is clear or not, and we will start the discussion of today's question. Okay, I hope that guys you remember the question today. Okay, I hope that guys you remember the question today. Okay, okay, let's begin our discussion now. So, today's question was elaborate the policy taken by government of India to meet the challenges of food processing sector. Okay, so elaborate the policy taken by government of India to meet the challenges of food processing sector. Okay, we discussed and I tried to break down the question in the morning session only. So what is this question about? This question is about a keyword, which keyword we are talking about: food processing industry. The question also talks about that what are government's initiatives. Okay, so it also has government initiatives, so make sure that you definitely know certain initiatives which are from, make sure that, yes, so which are from the food processing sector specifically. The question calls out to be that if you look at the question very specifically, it is saying that okay, there are various challenges which are associated with food processing sector. Too much of problems are there. Now to fight with those problems, to find the solutions of those problems, we need to have certain policy and definitely government schemes. So elaborate this policy of the government through which we are trying to meet those problems or challenges and to give the solutions to the farmers. So this overall breaks down our question completely. So how to write the answer in this case is that try to understand that here only one part is there in question. The topic is food processing in India, but more importantly, the holistic topic is about policies to meet the challenges of food processing India. It is not just food processing industry. Okay, so food processing in India or food processing industry, what are their challenges, and if I want to meet the challenges, what is government's policy. This is the total breakdown of the topic. Now you need to answer it first briefly as I tell to everybody. You need to definitely check out, okay, you need to definitely check out the overall uh, importance of food processing sector. You need to have facts, you need to have data, you need to have everything which is associated with food processing sector in India. So let us go through our answer here. Try to understand. As like always, I will give you the ideal or the model answer here. We will explain, discuss something about it, and then we will move to the answers of the students. Food processing sector is also called as sunrise sector. Why it is called as, what is a sunrise sector? So sunrise sector in an economy is any particular sector which is going to boom, which is not booming, which is going to boom in near future, not future, near future. That means in 10 to 20 years that particular sector is going to boom. So due to its growing importance in connecting agriculture with industry, what is the most important? Why is food processing industry so much important? See, agriculture is there. Agricultural produce are generally what type of products? These are not final products, but these are raw materials. For example, tomato, any fruit like mango, then maybe pineapple, then chilies. These are your horticultural produces, right? Similarly, sugarcane, plantation crops. Similarly, your cereals, rice, wheat, barley, millets, ragi. All these grains are primary produce, which are raw materials. This is not the final product or product 3. This is product 0. That is, it is a raw material. These are natural resources and raw materials which fall into the primary sector, not secondary sector, not tertiary sector. Remember that agricultural produce is always primary sector, and the primary sector produce always doesn't has that bargaining power in the market. Why? because there is no value addition in it. Always remember, if I go and if I try to buy local rice, local dal, and local wheat, which is not polished, it would be very cheap. But if I try to buy directly Pillsbury atta or your flour, okay, your Annapurna atta, okay, or flour. Now that wheat is taken, the overall covering is removed, proper shine is given to that wheat, proper segregation is done of that wheat, then the wheat is gone like wheat is taken to the overall mills. There it is broken down and a fine powder is prepared. The fine powder of the flour is then available for all of the people as a Ashirwad or Annapurna atta or Ashirwad or Annapurna flour, whatever it is. So try to understand that agricultural produce, when you add the value, their market value also increases. And food processing industry, if I'm taking wheat, I'm taking mango, I'm taking pineapple, I'm taking tomato, chilies, and then I'm using the food processing industries. I'm preparing jams, I'm preparing pickles, I'm preparing various other condiments, I'm preparing tier 3, I'm preparing bread. You know, right? Multigrain bread is 90 rupees, which is 250 grams only. Whereas 1 kg of just multigrains, if you are taking a mix of multigrains, those would be not even 30 to 40 rupees. So this tells you how much food processing industry is a pivot to convert an agricultural produce to an manufactured value oriented final product, which is not in primary sector but in secondary or tertiary sector. So it creates value and provides and market value to the agricultural produce. It creates an raw material and turns it into final product with an proper tag and with proper marketed value. So this is why it is a sunrise sector. Tomorrow if you are having mangoes with you, and no wonder mangoes are having great price, but no wonder you can take those mangoes and you can prepare mango pickles which can be more expensive than mangoes themselves. Similarly for tomato, similarly for various other types of final products, whatever they may be. So food processing industry is nothing but that transformer which converts the overall agricultural produce into a value oriented or value added product, and then it has a great value in market. Second now, so that's why it plays a critical role in India's economic development, fostering synergies between these two pillars. Which two pillars? Agriculture and manufacturing and industry. So food processing sector is in between, it's a linchpin between agriculture and industry. Now there is a lot potential, as I told you. आप जो भी एग्रीकल्चर का प्रोड्यूस है उसको लेके जितना चाहे उतना कन्वर्ट कर सकते हो. You can add value to those products. But this sector has various challenges. Now what are these challenges? सीधा मुद्दे पे आना है. What are the challenges? See, the question is talking about how government policy and government schemes are meeting the challenges. But first we have to talk about the challenges. So although the question has only one part, but sometimes some things have to be explained even if those are not written exponentially. Yes, exponentially. If those things are not written, then also you have to explain. For example, suppose I'm writing organic farming is having organic farming also faces so much of challenges. In this light, can you just write down 3 to 4 government schemes which are solving the real on the field problems and challenges of organic farming? You cannot just write government schemes which are solving the real problems of organic farming. We have to write down what are the real problems, what are the challenges of organic farming. So some things are not written, but definitely you have to write. You have to definitely write them. So challenges. Let us go through what challenges are. First is supply chain inefficiencies. What do you mean by supply chains? First, try to understand. Okay, so supply chain is nothing but it connects different parts of an particular economic market. For example, suppose I am a sugarcane farmer. So sugarcane farmer, I harvested my sugarcane. Now sugar I have to give to whom? Sugarcane mill owner. But how I can give him? I need proper transportation for it, right? Also, apart from transportation, once I load my sugarcane produce in the tractor or in the truck, again in between what will be there? Tolls will be there, right? Then I would be taking that sugarcane, it would be weighed, okay, in the local market. From local market it would be taken to the retailer, wholesaler, or whatever an area go down, and from area go down it will go to the sugarcane mill. So overall, whatever these linkages are there which are responsible to take sugarcane produced from a single farmer and bring it to the sugarcane mill, that is your supply chain linkage. Supply chain linkage is nothing but it is a linkage which takes up the raw materials from the suppliers and give it to the producers, and then the producers give it to customer. Sugarcane mill owner will prepare either sugar or sugarcane juice and then give it for further packaging. So this is what supply chain is. But supply chain inefficiencies means what? It's very simple that when farmers are trying to put forth their sugarcane to the farmer mill, and from farmers mill, uh, sugarcane mill to the consumer, there are so much of bottlenecks in it. Bottlenecks in the sense there are so much of efficiency related problem. First, the operational cost is really very high. Just take example of sugarcane only. If you consider sugarcane on horticultural crop, the shelf life is very less. Sugarcane loses the glucose and fruits they start getting rotten. They ripen very quickly. So it is it two things are important. First, it's to take the horticultural and such type of crops from point A to B, so make the process fast. And second is to increase the shelf life by providing proper storage. So cold storage again would be one of the problems which you can again write in the supply chain inefficiencies. Second thing, food wastage. When you are trying to procure some foods, there comes the processes of holding, storage, and in that context, if the infrastructure is not readily available, definitely you are going to suffer, and most importantly, the wastage. Second thing, infrastructural bottlenecks. The infrastructural bottlenecks talks about how much godowns are there in the country for farmers, how much cold storage units are there. FCI has how much godowns? Only 6,000 godowns. We have heard it. Actually, generally, if a farmer is there, uh, the APMC mandi should be just 80 kilometers around him. But today the situation is such that APMC mandi is 500 kilometers away from all the farmers in the country. This ratio proportionate shows you that infrastructure is really very dire in the agricultural sector according to how much it is required. Second thing is that efficient transport systems are also not there. Shelf life of the food results into spoilage, and then near consumer, the goods are going to reach near consumer, but before that only the food get spoiled. For example, 40% of fruits and vegetables in India are wasted annually due to just poor storage facility. It means that 100%, suppose you produced 1 lakh tons, the 40% nobody is going to even touch it because it is wasted literally. So try to understand the gravity. Now, the third statement talks about the standardization and certification gap. What is this? It is nothing but we all know for creation of infrastructures, it requires lot of capitalization and funds. RIDF fund, for example, Rural Infrastructure Development Fund, agricultural infrastructural fund. So these are all the funds which looks after creation of infrastructures. But for such infrastructure creation, product standardization, certification, quality testing, these things are lacking. So the standards to maintain such infrastructure and build them, these are lacking in the country. There are so much of gaps. The only successful infrastructural projects are seen from the PSU or government point of view. You can take two best examples, NABARD infrastructures, and then is your Gadkari Saab's national highway, those infrastructures. Apart from that, rest of the infrastructures are having so much of gaps. Next, as infrastructure, if you are trying to float so much of money out of your budget, there is a high chance that it may also create deficit like condition. So therefore, even there is a deficit pressure in context of standardization and infrastructure development. Next, human resource constraints. What are the human resource constraints? Always remember that infrastructure, logistics, and even food processing sector which we are looking at, this is a sector which requires high technology. Okay, and apart from high technology, it also requires high resource, physical or infrastructural also, and human too. In context of humans, shortage of trained personnel is there, and largely absence of specialized training program is there. So I personally feel that for human resource, even from the food processing industry point of view, there is no any special. For example, krishi vigyan kendra krishi vigyan kendra are specifically to improve the technology on the field. Such any institution is not there which is trying to skill farmers, skill personnels who can look into the farm the overall food processing sector. Their only food processing sector, if you look in India, major capital is actually put into the research more. But what is required is huge and large scale of production, and at the same time skilling of youths in the same sector. Training programs, institutions also should be there so that food processing is available and well known for all the people. Limited innovation and branding. The problem is that today the globalization and corporatization has been infiltrated in Indian agricultural markets and Indian consumer market at such an extent that people want to eat Lay's chips rather than eating banana healthy chips. People want to eat uh, the the bakery products or uh, the concoctions, but they don't want to drink the lemon soda, or they don't want to eat the fruits on the street. So this separation, or this the limited innovation and branding in context of agricultural products. So for example, people are I'll give you a beautiful example. People are having so much of craze to eat mayonnaise, right? But nobody likes to eat pickles. Sometimes there are certain people who feel that, oh, pickle, I don't like pickle, or I don't eat pickle. So the intention or the overall perspective is about how much limited branding is there of such pickles. So where mayonnaise, which is 2 to 3 C's away, that product is easily accepted here. Ketchups are easily accepted here. Ketchup is such a huge brand today, but like ketchup, pickle brand we have never heard of. Okay, we know local pickle brands, but do you know a big pickle brand like Kisan? No, we don't know. So the problem is this only, that the branding of the local products. Next. Okay, next. So next I was telling was, the other 2 points are India lacks standardization certification in context of certification, and yes, one more thing, inadequate demand based innovations are there. In the sense, whatever demand is there, according to that innovations are not there in market. Second thing, unavailability of formalized channels of credit, and most importantly, branding is also not properly present. These are some of the challenges. Now considering all these challenges, what is government doing? What are the policies? What are the government schemes? So first is, don't forget this, NABARD grade A 2023 15 marker compulsory question, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. Okay, Matsya Sampada was asked in 2023, sorry, and Kisan Sampada is again very similar to Matsya Sampada. So make sure that you prepare this well. That's why this was also a reason why I asked this question. Okay, why I asked this question? The main thing is here. See, Matsya Sampada has already come in exam, so maybe there is high chance that Kisan Sampada also will come one or other time. Okay, next. What is Kisan Sampada? It's very simple: modernizing infrastructure, supply chain. Okay, mega food parks banane hain, cold chain, agro processing clusters we have to make, connect villages to villages, cities to cities, reduce wastage, farm to market connectivity we have to increase. So what are the things which are implemented? First is mega food parks. First, food fairs, food parks, integrated cold chain, value addition and preservation infrastructure. So deep cooled freezers, then fast chain supplying fast chain supplying and procurement pipelines, then creation of expansion of food processing preservative capacity. So preservative, so that whatever food products are there, you can prepare some value oriented product like pickles, jams, and you can put forth in market. Then infrastructure for agro processing clusters. So schemes for creation of backward and forward linkages. Backward linkage generally is related to supply, and forward is related to the customer, that is to provide to the customer. Food safety quality assurances, sanitary and phytosanitary reasons are one of the main points why our Indian agricultural raw materials are not accepted in European markets. So we have to improve that. So quality check is very important. Human resource and institution. So these are some of the points which fall into Kisan Sampada Yojana. Next is FDI and food processing. Government has allowed 100% FDI. So which is very, very encouraging also, and very welcoming also, and that also through automatic route. Then human resource development program, Ministry of Food Processing Industries is trying to bring various entrepreneurship development programs, but at the same time there should be institutions and training centers also. This is little bit lacking. So entrepreneurship development is there, but training programs are not there yet. Then Food Safety and Standardization Authority (FSSAI) is working strong to prepare a strong food processing and testing infrastructure such that we can ensure our top quality, as well as give everybody every food and every type of food produce a specific mark which guarantees our quality and nothing is compromised. So this is one of the thing government is doing. Ministry of Food Processing Industries also has announced like human resource development also, which talks about four important points: that degree and diploma courses for food processing sector, entrepreneurship development program for food processing centers also, training centers. Now this is the latest thing which has come up, and training at recognized institutions at state and national level. So what I was saying कि training centers ज़्यादा नहीं है, so this is the real problem. See, this food processing training centers in India were established recently only in last 2 years, and if you compare food processing training centers, these are very less as compared to the overall scalability in India in terms of food processing. Okay, if you want to write some case studies which are associated with food processing, the best case studies are Nagpur, Kolhapur, Pune, Himachal Pradesh, then Uttarakhand. These are some of the regions. Other than this, even your Shahadra is one of the region from Delhi. Bangalore is one of the region. Organic vegetables and fruits food processing is done here. So in this way, you can write these case studies and example uh, how these centers have developed as an hub and spoke model. Now conclusion, what we are writing: food processing has immense potential. ठीक है, simple सा लिख दिया. Then, however, what are the challenges here? Yes, supply chain inefficiency, adequate infrastructure, but government policies are still there, and we are trying to improve. Continued support and investment is required to unlock the new opportunities. So थोड़ा सा futuristic, थोड़ा सा optimistic है. Now, uh, I hope that this answer you got and really good uh, understanding. So one by one, let us go through all the answers here. Okay, एक सबके answers देखता हूँ कैसे. Okay, so the first answer सुप्रिया ने लिखा है ये. Okay, I have gone through this particular answer of सुप्रिया. एक बात बताना चाहूंगा सुप्रिया का, the introduction of Supriya here, whatever she has written, I personally felt that it was huge bombardment of numbers and data. So always when you are writing an introduction, always remember you are writing an answer, you are crafting a answer, you are crafting a answer, you are crafting a answer, you are curating a answer. बस किसी को चेप के कुछ देना है, इसलिए चेप के मत दो. So here, see, her overall answer is really very good. Her total marks I have given 9 out of as 10 marker question is there, I have given her 6 out of 10. The problem is, instantly when I'm reading the introduction, food processing sector has emerged as an important sector, and directly she's talking about last 7 years ending, this data, that it makes your answer very mechanical. Don't let it happen that your answer will be complicated and mechanical. The examiner, if he gets that it is a mechanical and complicated answer, he will no longer will be interested in reading. I was also not interested by reading the introduction. Anyways, here in the part she has written agricultural challenges, poverty, transportation. What I felt is that कि इतने ही तीन ही हैं challenges. This was again a problem from my side. But her government initiative she has written better. Still, it's again 5 to 6 marks only, not more than that. Okay. Okay, next one more question. So this introduction was little bit good, like logical tha. Also, it had little bit story. Food processing sector very important. India's household consumption demand is going to quadruple. So food processing sector is not only important for employment but much more things. So and then like the student, that is Ankit, started. Sorry. Then Ankit started talking about what are the problems which are associated with food processing sector. The problem which I felt is that proper structuring is not there. और पिछली बार भी अंकित ने एकदम मतलब वाहियात स्ट्रक्चर किया था. Improve the structure of the answer. Didn't you see my answer? देखो ना भाई, हेडिंग है कि नहीं? हेडिंग उसके बाद पॉइंट, हेडिंग उसके बाद पॉइंट. तो आप भी वैसे ही आंसर लिखो ना यार. इतना सब कुछ अभी क्या स्पून फीड करो क्या सबको? 5 marks for Ankit. Structure is really very bad. Okay. Next, again, this was a question. ये पुष्पा बिरुआ ने लिखा है. Okay. Again, the same problem here. Pushpa's previous answer, that is, last time whatever he wrote the answer, better than that answer he has structured this time. But my problem is that little bit there are some disparities in the answers. So there is not a proper flow overall throughout the point. Second thing, challenges in the food processing sector. ये मतलब ऐसे points लिखे जैसे कि मेहरबानी कर रहे हो. नहीं यार, please explain them properly. Why didn't you write 1111 point here? Okay, so don't make it an activity based, make it an learning based. Whenever you are doing something, that activity should not be just an activity just for the sake of activity I am doing. No, do it so that you are learning from it. Okay, so although he has written good answer, okay, 6 marks only from me. So one more question here has been written. Yes. So, like Izil Arasi has written this answer. I felt his introduction was little bit data oriented, little bit mechanical, but his points were really very brilliant. So challenges were really very wonderful. Okay, he also wrote an extra point which I liked, that is, that was regulatory complexities. So regulation is less in context of food processing industry, because generally hygiene food iska dur dur ka koi nata nahi hai when it comes to the Indian landscape. Okay, and then it comes to your government interventions also bahut अच्छी तरीके से लिखा है. Easily is the person who has got 8.5. Let us see if he wins this time or not. Okay, next it's Swarna Prabha. Swarna Bharti, sorry. Yes. Swarna Bharti. Now, one beautiful thing Swarna Bharti has written, little bit innovation. Food processing is equal to transformation plus value addition. See, at the starting of the lecture, I was telling you na, that food processing is responsible for converting an agricultural produce into an value-oriented produce. See here, value addition. Wow, this is a beautiful definition, beautiful formula. Write it down, everybody. Please write it down. I think Swarna Bharti has written well. But here Swarna Bharti, again, you have failed here. Why? Challenges, अरे भाई क्यों एक 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 दो दो लिख रहे हो? Explain it ना. Lack of efficient supply chain. What do you mean by supply chain infrastructure? Lack of access of credit facility. What is this credit facility you are talking about? Inefficient transfer in what? Give some examples. Write some statements. Make these main headings. Write subheadings. Come on. Okay, and then you have written challenges. See, Swarna Bharti, you were going to get really good mark, especially for your introduction, but the problem is the this part, challenges, you messed it up. So 7 marks, Swarna Bharti. Then Brinda, I guess. Okay, Brinda's answer, yes. Introduction is too long, Brinda. It's a 10 marker question only. Second thing, what is there is that you have, see, in context of writing an answer, see, this is one of the mistake which many of the common students will do. Now Brinda, you have to learn from this, and everybody, you all, you should learn from this. What Brinda did, there were two parts. One was challenge, and second was what is government doing. So what Brinda did was she combined both the points. First she talked about supply chain, what are the problems and challenges, and then she also mentioned what government is doing for that through the various government schemes and policy. You can write such answer, but you have to structure it properly. Look at this particular answer, the structure is not good. Here only one heading and then full one paragraph. Write it in points. Why don't you write supply chain, then under supply chain challenges 3 points, then after that government initiatives 3 points? How beautiful this answer would have been. So you would have got really good marks. Your content is also really good, but this is where structure brings actually more marks to you. I hope Brinda you are getting what I'm trying to tell. Then comes Hariom Meena. Okay, he has also written very good answer, but a single liner and single statement. Here somewhere headings have been given, so good answer. But still, what I would say is that considering all these points, 12 points he has written, but he should have segregated challenges separate, government initiatives separate. 7.5 marks from me. So Shekhar's answer, again Shekhar also has written really good answer. Okay, so 7.5 from my side, but nothing new. All the same points only were with there. Okay. Yes, one more question. Arjun's, yes, Arjun's answer. Again, one of the problem is heading is there, but the paragraph is completely huge. Again, the word limit is also out. I think beyond the limit. Here you have to write in points, mind you. So overall, considering this, only 6 marks from my side. Yes. The next student is Ashutosh Guru. Okay. Again, here also, see, this is the heading which he has written, and then directly he's starting with paragraph. Write in points, guys. Heading after that also point. Heading, subheading points. Heading, subheading points. This is what you have to learn. Overall, what I would like to say is that Ashutosh is getting 8 marks here because his content was little bit good. Okay. So 7.5 to 8 marks for Ashutosh. Good try. Then one more answer here has been written, but structure, what I feel is structure, but here innovative little bit schemes were written. For example, ODOP was written, Operation Greens was written, integrated cold chain value addition infrastructure. This was one of the best scheme to be written. Even my model answer did not had this. So here I think the student name is Sanjana. 7 marks from my side because little bit structuring has to be improved, especially in challenges. So write main points, then write the points. Okay, a heading should be always there. Remember, again one of the what 11111. So his answer also I saw again 7.5 only from my side. And last three answers now we'll be looking at. So last three, one is by Siddesh Nichit. Okay. Again, here look at it. Only 3 points he's writing for challenges. I'm completely disappointed. At least 5 points should be there for challenges, and 5 points should be there for policy measures and government schemes for government of India. So therefore, here again 6 marks from my side. Here Venki, okay, good try it was, but structure is still like a lot effort has to be taken. Only single line statements have been written, doesn't adds the value. Write more, but facts have been added. Try to add more examples here, case studies here. Okay, 7 marks from my side. And then comes challenges of food processing India. Here very bad structure, Chetan, you need to improve. Okay, so write proper heading, properly structure it. Okay, heading लिखो, फिर उसके बाद सब heading लिखो, write points, whatever arguments you are writing, support them by your examples, case studies. So we have discussed again all the answers here. हर बार मैं आता हूँ and I check all your answers. Okay, so thank you very much and see you next time. Okay, so best of luck.